Good evening, students, and welcome to the live Guru session for the JEE main crash course. Okay, so today is going to be my last session for you all before your board exam. Of course, after your JEE main, I hope most of you will qualify for advanced, and we will have some sessions for advanced also, but that is going to be after your board exam and after your second round of JEE mains. Okay. So what I thought is today's class is supposed to be differential equations, but so I've just put very less questions so that if we have any other overall things, we should be able to address them also. Okay. Just give me 1 second. Just trying to. Okay. Yeah. What you will see is in the worksheet, I've added a couple of questions from the previous topics that were not solved in class. Okay, just so that if we have this thing, we should be able to solve them also. Hopefully, we will have time to do that. Okay, and any other doubts, etc. I hope we'll be able to this thing. So I put only 6 questions from differential equations. Okay. Okay, so but we will have a test also in the topic. Okay, now let's go into the summary. Okay, the order and degree of a differential equation. Okay, order is the power of the highest differential coefficient involved. Okay, and well, not power, order of that's first order, second order, etc. dy by dx is first order, d squared y by dx squared is second order. Equation is a polynomial and all the differential coefficients, the power to which the highest coefficient is raised is the degree of the equation. Okay, these are basic ideas. Separation of variables is the easiest way to solve differential equations. Okay, right, integral f of x dx equals integral g of y dy. Okay, next is linear equations is one huge category where we have something known as the integrating factor. Okay, the integrating factor is e power integral p dx, where the equation is dy by dx plus p of x into y is q of x, and multiplying the equation by the integrating factor gives this, and integral q e power integral p dx is what you will have to do. Okay, this you must be able to do as an indefinite integral. Okay, now instead of q of x, if you have q of x into y power n, you can still use the same idea by dividing both sides by y power n and substituting y power minus n plus 1 is z. Okay, what you will find is, okay, dz by dx is d by dx of y power minus n plus 1. So this will be y power minus n plus 1 minus 1 dy by dx, right? So this is 1 by y power n dy by dx, and that will be there when you divide by y power n like this. So this becomes dz by dx. And then there is a p1 of x, okay, times z, because when you divide by so what will happen, okay, this will become y power n minus 1, so this will become z, so that z will correct, so p1 of x, actually you will get the same p of x and q of x only. I don't know why I put p1 of x, because that doesn't change. Okay, so this should be the same p of x and q of x. Okay, but anyway, you can solve that. That is the key idea. Homogeneous equations is again a very important category. for which first you have to understand what is known as a homogeneous function. A function f of x comma y is homogeneous of degree n if it can be written as f of xy is equal to x power n times f1 of y by x. Okay. Now dy by dx is f of x comma y by phi of x comma y is a homogeneous equation if f of x comma y comma phi of x comma y are homogeneous functions of x comma y of the same degree. And homogeneous equations can be, differential equations can be solved by substituting y equals vx. Okay. Now a few other forms. Of course, there is a general idea called substitution which I have not showed you at all. Okay. Like for example, if you have dy by dx is 2x plus 3y the whole square. You put 2x plus 3y is equal to t. So is equal to dt by dx. So then you will get dt by dx minus 2 by 3 is t squared. Correct? And then you can get that dt by dx is 3t square plus 2, and then you can do separation of variables. This is substitution. Now substitution, there is no general rule. Okay, in many situations, when you have something like this, you can just substitute and it will simplify. Okay, and finally you have other forms which includes things like, dy by dx is a1x plus b1y plus c1 by a2x plus b2y plus c2. This is providing a1 b2 minus a2 b1 is not 0. If it's 0, then it is of the form 2x plus 3y plus 5 by 2x plus 3y plus 7 and put 2x plus 3y is equal to t. If not, then you have x is equal to capital X plus h, y is equal to capital Y plus k, and then you solve for h and k, and then you will get it in a homogeneous form. Okay, you can eliminate the constant. That is the key idea. Okay, if it is 0, okay, actually then also you've been that you're writing a1 by b1x plus y is equal to z. I'm saying you can directly put 2x plus 3y itself as z. Doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. I think that's about it. Okay, K7 has asked, can y equals vx or x equals vy be applied only to, can we, see, you can use in others, but it may not work. Can use anywhere, but it may or may not work. For homogeneous, it is guaranteed to work, but you'll have to see if there are some other situations where it actually does work. Okay, I know board exams are nearing and it's a big deal that you all are attending, even in the midst of all the frenzy regarding the board exam. So it's really good. Okay, all of you are able to attend today. Okay, so let's jump right into the topic and let's go ahead and do question 1. Any other doubts, if you have, let me know. In the theory, not just differential equations, any other topic that I have done preferably, but if I have not done also, it's okay. Okay, so I wanted to have a little bit time, which I hope we will have today, okay, for discussing some of these other things. Okay, Anushri Mukund has asked, sorry, I came across for a1x plus b1y plus c1 equals 0. That's what you mean, Anushri. And a2x plus b2y plus c2. If b2 plus a1 is 0, then we should cross multiply. Could you explain this? No, you have to look at whether a1 b2 is equal to a2 b1. Because if that is a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2. If that is the case, then a1x plus b1y plus c1 and a2x plus b2y plus c2, okay, actually if you put equal to 0, are parallel lines, okay, and that means you can convert them into the same coefficients. You can write this as ax plus by plus c1, ax plus by plus c2, and put ax plus by is equal to t. Then you will be able to reduce it. And you can put t plus c2 as some z and t plus c1 as z minus k, and then it will become very easy. Okay, I hope this is clear. That is what is there in this. If a1 equals 0, see, you don't need to do all this. You can just directly put this, sorry, this equals t, because this will also become t. Then it will become a trivial thing to do. Okay, these are not very difficult at all. Okay, so we should be able to finish it within like okay, we have one more question before going to solve the problem. Sridhar Menon, I have a doubt from statistics. I came across calculating the effective variance when two distributions were given and their individual variances and mean were given. Should we use the two variance combination formula that you had given during class? Yes, absolutely you should. Okay, actually the normal formula will also work. Okay, this should give the same answer. Okay, except that you might have made some mistake. Okay, Sridhar Menon. Okay, so that is what you'll have to see. Okay, now let's okay, I'm just trying to see if I have that formula, because I just wanted to show you one very quick thing. Let me see, instead of just having to write that, if I have it readily available, it will be easier. Okay. Yeah, so this is the combined variance. Okay, Sridhar Menon. Now this will be the same if you actually derive, see, from first principles. If you do from first principles, what is the formula that you will have to use? Okay, you will have to say variance is sigma summation xi minus x bar whole square by n. Of course, now if there is n1 and n2, then it will be something by n1 plus n2, correct? Now, so it is going to be, so there is an overall x bar. So, the small confusion here is if you put x1, x2, that won't be correct, because x1, x2 is used for indicating the different values of the variable. A better thing is to just have x1, x2 and y1, y2. X mean will be x bar, y mean will be y bar, and overall will be z bar. But it is easier to just put as n1, sigma 1, etc. I could have just put nx, sigma x, okay, ny. Okay, this is actually a better way to understand. Z is for the overall thing. Okay. So what you will find is that if you do it from first principles, you will get the same thing. That's basically the point I'm trying to make. Okay. Okay, now let's come to this question. Okay, so here we are told that log of dy by dx is 3x plus 4y. So dy by dx is e power 3x plus 4y. So integral e power minus 4y dy is integral e power 3x dx. So e power minus 4y by 4 e power, sorry, not minus 3x. This is minus 4 e power 3x by 3 plus c. Okay, minus, so you are told that x is equal to, sorry, y of 0 is equal to 0. So 1 by minus 4 is 1 by 3 plus c. C is minus 7 by 12. Now that means, okay, when x is equal to minus 2 by 3 log 2. That's what is asked, right? Then e power, so let's see. First is 3x is minus 2 log 2, and you can write e power 3x, which is actually minus log 4. So e power 3x is e power minus log 4, which is 1 by 4, not minus 4. So e power minus 4y by 4 is 1 by 4 by 3 plus c, okay, which is minus 7 by 12. 1 by 12 minus 7 by 12, which is minus 6 by 12. So minus half. So e power minus 4y is equal to minus 2. So e power 4y, okay, wait, is it minus 2 or plus 2? No. E power, sorry, it's minus half. E power minus 4y is plus 2, not minus 2, plus 2. Therefore, e power 4y is half. What is asked is alpha log 2. So 4y is, or actually we can just directly say minus 4y is log 2. Minus 1 by 4 log 2. Therefore, alpha is minus 1 by 4. The answer is option A. Pretty much everybody who had given an answer has given this as the answer. Very, very good. Okay. Okay. Now let's move on and do question 2. Curve satisfying this differential equation. I think there is a minus somewhere. Hari Kumar, this is what I had also written. Shouldn't e power 4y be minus 4? First of all, e power minus cannot be this. Not possible. E power anything cannot be negative. That's because I made a mistake. I think that is e power minus 4y by minus 4. I forgot this minus here. When I wrote it, I forgot to put this minus. That's what I meant. I mean, I said that it is there. I forgot to put it here. So there is a minus here. So it's my mistake, Hari Kumar. Okay, it's not like that was this thing. I didn't put the minus. See, first of all, e power minus 4y is minus 2 is not possible. There's no y that will be satisfied. Well, that means that for that x, there is no y possible. That can be one of the scenarios, but that's not the scenario here.
Okay. A few people have got, so let's see if we can. Okay, yeah. So a few people have answered by now. Okay, so which is good. Okay, so let's look at this equation. We have y dx minus, now this one is going to have a different kind of, in fact, this pattern is something you must be familiar with. I'm sure there are other ways of doing, but among the easiest ways of doing is to recognize this as one um, combined thing. And why is that? Because in fact, divide by y squared overall, y dx minus x dy by y square minus 3 dy is 0. But y dx minus x dy by y square is nothing but d of x by y. This is very, very important to understand. Remember, of course, you can divide by dx on both sides. You will get y minus x dy by dx minus 3 dy by dx is 0. Sorry. Okay. This is d by dx of x by y is y d by dx of x, which is y into 1, minus x dy by dx by y square. So that's exactly what you're doing, except that you don't have to divide by dx throughout. And if you do that, so you get d of x by y is equal to 3 dy. Integrate both sides. X by y is equal to 3y plus c. When x equals 1, it's told that y equals 1. So 1 is equal to 3 plus c. So c is minus 2. Okay. Now what other point does it? So that means
x by y is 3y minus 2. Now you have to take each point. Okay, 1 by 4 comma minus 1 by 2. Okay, it won't work because x by y will be minus half, and this will be minus 3 by 2 minus 2, and it won't work. Okay, minus 1 by 3 comma 3, okay, which is option B, does work. And the other two things are not going to work. Okay, minus 1 by 3 comma 1 by 3 is minus 1 is 3, sorry, 1 minus 2 is correct. Of course, the other two things won't work. C and D will not work. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now, you can also do it as dx by dy. Okay, so if you want, there is, if this cannot strike you, method 2 is the integrating factor method, but you have to realize that this is not dy by dx. Okay, so you have y dx minus x plus 3y square is equal to dy. So you get y dx by dy is equal to x plus 3y square. So dx by dy is equal to x by y plus 3y. So dx by dy minus x by y is 3y. This is of the form dx by dy plus p of y into x is equal to q of y. So integrating factor is e power integral p of y dy. P of y is minus 1 by y. So which is e power integral minus 1 by y. Okay, dy, which is simply minus log e power minus log y, which is simply 1 by y. So you have, this is exactly what is happening, minus x by y squared is equal to 3. This is d by this is x by y, okay, is equal to, so integral d of x by y is integral 3 dy. Okay, so x by y is 3y plus c, and it's the exact same thing. Okay, so you get I hope this is clear. The exact same thing is there in method 1 and method 2. Okay. Okay, K and K7. Before you said this, I have already done method 2. You looked at my method 1 and you said, yes, exactly. And that's exactly what I have done. Okay. Okay. Good. Pretty much everybody who wrote it got the correct answer. One or two people made some stupid mistakes probably. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and do question 3. We have a doubt from Hari Kumar. For question 2, I solved the differential equation by using variables by substituting x by y is equal to v, but I am getting x by y is equal to 3x minus 2, but minus 1 by 3, 1 by 3 still satisfies this equation. No. First of all, it is wrong. It doesn't satisfy. Okay. Because if you put x by y, you get minus 1 is equal to minus 1 minus 2. How does that work? 3x is minus 1 minus 2. It's not correct. Okay. Now you may be able to see this may work. That is not the lucky part. May work for this question. Or other such questions where it's not in one of the standard forms, you have to convert it into some form, substitution, etc. Okay, it may work in some scenarios like this. For example, y dx minus x plus 3y square into dy. Okay, so you put x is equal to yv. Okay, so dx by dy, you have to put it as 1 plus dv by dy. So y dx by dy 0. So y into 1 plus dv by dy minus yv plus 3y squared is 0 and y cancels. dv by dy is v minus 3y. I don't see this as variable separation. You will still have to put v minus 3y is equal to t. Okay, in this question, this substitution obviously suggests itself. Okay, x minus y is equal to t. So 1 minus dy by dx is dt by dx. So dy by dx is 1 minus dt by dx is equal to t square. So dt by dx is 1 minus t square, which you can solve by separation of variables. Okay, so integral dt by 1 minus t square is integral dx. Okay, so this is of course integral dt by 1 minus t into 1 plus t. Okay, so it's integral 1 by 1 minus t minus 1 by 1 plus t dt into half. Okay, sorry, not minus. I think this will be plus. 1 plus t plus 1 minus t will be 2. 2 by 2 will be 1. Okay, is equal to x plus c. So you get minus half log mod 1 minus t plus half log mod 1 plus t is equal to x plus c. half log mod 1 plus t by 1 minus t is x plus c. Remember, t is nothing but x minus y. By 1 minus x plus y is equal to x plus c. Now, the important thing is, okay, now what is the next thing? Y of 1 is equal to 1. So, half log mod 1 is equal to 1 plus c, which means c is minus 1 because log 1 is 0. Okay, so you have x minus 1. So half log 1 plus x minus y. So log of 1 plus x minus y by 1 minus x plus y mod is 2 into x minus 1. But what is given in one of the options is log mod 1 minus x plus y by 1 plus x minus y. And please remember, this is simply minus of the reciprocal. Log of a by b is log a minus log b. Log of b minus a is log b minus log a. So the negative of the reciprocal inside the log will be this. So that's basically, so the correct answer is option C. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, so let's see if there are any doubts based on the 3 questions so far. Already 1 or 2 doubts have been asked. Just checking if there are some other doubts, that's all. Okay, if there are no other doubts, you can go to question 4. Raghav Arvind has asked a good question. When do we know which substitution technique to solve a differential equation? By the time I realize the solution is homogeneous, the 2 minutes needed to solve it is gone. Any tips? See, this is only by practice. Okay. See, I know you all realize that I keep saying practice, practice, practice. Okay. Okay, what I meant by is, what I mean by that is, you see, if you find that among the different chapsi, ultimately, if all the chapters you are taking more time than what is given, okay, don't bother. Don't look at it as 2 minutes needed to solve. That is a very wrong thing. You have 60. In fact, I would suggest this has been told to you already. Allocate at least like 75 minutes for max. And if you have like, if your target is 15 questions, you get 5 minutes per question. This extra 15 minutes is borrowed from chemistry typically. Many people, you would have seen in JE1 also, maths has been the lengthier paper. Nobody told you that you have to spend equal amounts of time on each paper. Okay? Please understand, in mathematics, spending more time per question, the return on investment is higher. Like there are some questions where you will sure shot get the answer. In other subjects, that's not the case. Okay? If there's a tough question, even in mathematics also, whether you spend 5 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes, you won't get the answer. Don't bother about that. There are conceptually easy questions which take long to solve. Those are the ones you have to allocate that extra time. Okay, so don't look at it as 2 minutes needed to solve. Okay, but that is one part. The second part is, should you use homogeneous? Should you use substitution? Should you do like linear equation? That comes only by practice. Just looking at it quickly, doing some this thing and coming up with some this thing. But it's okay to take 1 minute to identify what to do. Okay, in mathematics. Okay. The reason I'm saying 15 questions, if you get 14 out of 15 right, and that will generally put you among 98 or 99 percentile in mathematics. Okay, I'm just trying to give you some insight into how these percentiles work. Okay, of course, it's going to depend on the difficulty level of the paper. Okay, I think, of course, you could have Googled and found it out also. You will find that a score somewhere like around 160, 170 on 300 will get you around 99 percentile. It's a little surprising. Okay. So do not ever go into this exam with the notion that I have to solve all the questions. You have to go with the notion that I have to get all my questions right. Whatever I attempt, I have to get right, and I have to get the maximum possible. Okay, so this question, again, this is not clear how to do, right? It is y square dx plus x minus 1 by y dy. How do you do? So you'll have to play around with a couple of options. Equals 0. So we can write this as, okay, now suppose you say, let's divide by dx. So y squared plus x minus 1 by y dy by dx equals 0. Okay, so does it help? So dy by dx, see, remember, we are allowed to have dy by dx plus p of x into y is equal to q of x. Sorry, that is of course q of x into y power n is allowed. So are we getting something like this? So you get dy by dx is equal to y squared by 1 by y minus x. That doesn't help because this is not a form that you can solve in whatever way possible. Okay, so if you want, you can simplify it as 1 minus xy. Okay, so you get dy by dx minus xy dy by dx is equal to y cube, not any standard form. So let's abandon this. I know I took more than 1 minute for this, but it's okay. I'm just trying to explain step by step. You will not take that much time. Then divide by dy. See, first was divide by dx. Didn't work. Divide by dy. Y squared dx by dy plus x minus 1 by y is equal to 0. Already this looks a little more promising. So you have dx by dy plus x by y is equal to 1 by y cube. Sorry, x by y square equals 1 by y cube. So this is of the form dx by dy plus p of y into x is equal to q of y, where p of y is 1 by y squared, q of y is 1 by y cube. Integrating factor is e power integral p of y dy e power integral 1 by y squared dy, which is e power minus 1 by y. So x e power minus 1 by y is equal to integral e power minus 1 by y cube dy. Now this you will have to put, let's say 1 by y is equal to t for RHS. So 1 by y squared dy is equal to dt. So let's say this integral is I. So I is equal to, okay, integral y cube is 1 by t the whole cube e power minus t into minus 1 by, so minus t squared y square dt, sorry, dy is minus y square, which is minus 1 by t square dt. So this becomes integral, okay, okay, minus e power t dt into t minus t e power t dt. So this is, of course, you have to do integration by parts. Okay, so this is e power t minus t e power t. Is that correct? Differentiate, you get e power t minus e power t minus t e power t. Correct. Okay, so it's a little bit this thing. Remember, t is equal to 1 by y. Is that correct? Minus t e power t. Is that correct? I'm just trying to check if everything is correct. Was there a minus already? Minus 1 by y is t. Oh, sorry. 1 by y is t. So y is 1 by t. Oh, sorry. Minus t e power minus t. Okay, it's a little messy. Okay, actually what, you know what? I should just put minus 1 by y is t plus 1 by y squared. So because I would like e power to be just this. Okay, so it's again integral minus t e power t dt. This is very good. This is much more, because e power, there's no negative. It's just easy to handle the thing. And this will be in fact the same thing that I put. Okay, so it's e power t minus t e power t plus c, because it's easy to check. E power t is e power t, minus e power t will cancel, minus t e power t will come. And t is minus 1 by y. So e power minus 1 by y plus 1 by y, e power minus 1 by y plus c. Okay, lot of this thing. Okay, when x equals 1, remember the left hand side, this is right hand side I, left hand side is x e power minus 1 by y. E power minus 1 by y plus 1 by y, e power minus 1 by y plus c. So x is equal to 1 plus 1 by y plus c e power 1 by y. You can multiply by 1 by y everywhere. X equals 1 gives y equals 1. So y equals 1 plus 1 plus CE. So C is equal to minus 1 by E. So x equals 1 plus 1 by y minus e power 1 by y by E. Okay, when y equals 2, x equals 1 plus 1 by 2. So this is 3 by 2 minus 1 by root e. Whew. Okay, that's a lot of calculation. Okay, the answer is option C, which of course many people have gotten right. Okay, that was question 4. Why don't we go ahead and do question 5 also, and then after that we will have a break. Please go ahead and do question 5. Okay, Kesavan has said what is the mistake he made in the previous question. Okay, please go ahead and do question 5. here we have some trigonometric functions. Okay, clearly this looks like a tough question. Okay, a lot is happening. Now, if you are stuck in this, okay, what should you do? That is going to be like, okay, so if you are stuck, look at this. There is a e power y dy by dx and a plain e power y. These are the only places where y occurs. Okay, so that gives us the hint. Put e power y is equal to t. So e power y dy by dx is dt by dx. So dt by dx minus 2t sin x okay is equal to minus sin x cos squared x. Okay, this is far easier to do. Okay, this is the hint. How do you know this? Okay, because there is no other alternative. It's not in any other standard form. So this is what you have to understand, that such things may have to be done. Okay, even after that hint it is difficult. Okay, couple of others have been able to solve after that. Okay, clearly this looks like a tough one. Okay, so I will go ahead and proceed. I already told you what the hint is. Okay, you have to put e power y is equal to t. Why? Because the y variable occurs only in e power y and e power y dy by dx. And by putting e power y is equal to t, we can make it like a standard linear differential equation form. So this is dt by dx plus p of t, sorry, p of x into t is equal to q of x. Okay, so p of x is minus 2 sine x. So the integrating factor is e power integral minus 2 sine x, which is simply e power integral minus sine x is cos x. So it's integral e power 2 cos x. So you have t e power 2 cos x is equal to integral e power 2 cos x times cos squared x into minus sin x dx. Now clearly it, okay, cos x you can put as t, well not t, cos x equals z. Okay, so minus sin x dx is dz. So the RHS is integral e power 2z into z square dz. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, so this is, you have to do integration by parts, which is e power 2z by 2. You integrate e power 2z, okay, and then keep this as z square minus integral of e power 2z by 2 into 2z dz. So one more integration by parts will give e power 2z by 2 into z square minus integral z e power 2z, okay, which is minus z e power 2z by 2, okay, plus integral e power 2z by 2, because minus of minus will become plus. So which will become e power 2z by 4. So it is z square e power 2z by 2. This is probably where many people might have given up, plus e power 2z by 4. So you see, the hard differential equation questions are questions where the integration is hard. It's not the differential equation idea. Okay, so remember the left hand side, there are multiple substitutions that we have made. The left hand side is t e power 2 cos x. Cos x is equal to, z is cos x. Cos x whole square e power 2 cos x by 2 minus cos x e power 2 cos x by 2 plus e power 2 cos x by 4 the whole thing, okay, plus a c. Now what you will find is that e power 2 cos x can be cancelled everywhere, and you can just add a e power minus 2 cos x to the c. This is the big idea. So I'm going to cancel all of these and see e power minus 2 cos x. And remember, t is e power y is equal to cos squared x by 2 minus cos x by 2 plus 1 by 4 plus c e power minus 2 cos x. This is what you have. And x equals pi by 2, y equals 0. Okay, that is what is given to us. Okay, therefore e power 1 is equal to 0 minus 0 plus 1 by 4, okay, plus c. Okay, so c is 1 minus 1 by 4, which is 3 by 4. So what is told is y of 0. So y of 0, to calculate y of 0, so e power y of 0, cos 0 is 1. So 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 plus 3 by 4 e power minus 2. So this is 1 by 4. So so e power y of 0 is 1 by 4. Therefore, y of 0 is log of 1 by 4 plus 3 by 4 e power minus 2. So alpha is 1 by 4, beta is 3 by 4, alpha plus beta is 1, 4 into alpha plus beta is 4. So the final answer is 4. Okay, I know it's a very, very lengthy question, a little tricky also. Okay, so let's stop here. Let's take a short break. Okay, if you have any doubts in these two questions or any of the other questions, let me know. Okay, we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay. Okay, break is over. Um, okay, not too many doubts. It is just one question from Raghav Arvind. Where did the e power minus 2 come from? E power minus 2 came from adding this e power. See, okay, I added a e power minus 2 cos x. How? Because the previous thing only had a c. There should have been a c. Now, when you cancel e power 2 cos x, there is no e power 2 cos x in c. This is a very familiar pattern that you must observe in differential equations. If you have e power 2z everywhere, okay, this is t e power 2z, t e power 2z, sorry, okay, this, let's say I put it here like this, okay, because that is what is there on the left hand side. Okay, so this cancels, but there is no e power 2z here. So if you multiply by e power minus 2z everywhere, it becomes 1 1 1 1 1 and then an e power minus 2z, and that's what gives the e power minus 2 cos x. That's what gives the e power minus 2 in the end. Okay, I hope that is clear, Raghav. Okay, okay, now okay, let's move on to question 6. There is a very good question from Anonymous, which is, okay, while doing these lengthy questions like question 5, I follow the correct path, but then at some point I get tensed and leave it in the middle. So don't do these in the first round. These questions you must do only if you have time later in the second round. Okay, because it doesn't look like easy question. Okay, after you have solved the easy questions, I'm assuming there are at least 10 to 15 easy questions easier than this question 5 types. Okay, only then you come to this. See, easy also has a small factor of time. If it is going to be too lengthy, just for this very reason, at some point you'll get tense. The whole point about easy questions is that you won't get tense, and that's very important, to not get tense, because that's what will ensure that your other questions responses are not affected. Okay, so it's a very important point, Anonymous. Okay, 6 is relatively easier compared to 5, but it's not like trivial or anything. Okay, here, what is the big idea? Okay, so here, okay, just trying to see. Yeah, so you have secant y dy by dx plus 2x sin y is equal to x cube cos y. Okay, now it's a mix of trigonometric functions of y everywhere, and there is also dy by dx. Okay, so here what you're going to do is, okay, if you divide by cos y, you get secant squared y dy by dx plus 2x tan y is equal to x cube. Now this gives us a big hint. Okay, and what is that big hint? If you put tan y is equal to t, secant squared y dy is dt, so then you get dt by dx plus 2x into t is equal to x cube. Now this is of the form dt by dx plus p of x into t is q of x. How do you know that you have to put tan y is equal to t? Because there is no other way to obviously get rid of the sin y, cos y, secant y, etc. Okay, so that is what, there is no standard formula or anything for that. Okay, anyway, the integrating factor is e power integral 2x dx, okay, which is e power x square. Please note this is not equal to e power x whole square. That is e power 2x. This is e power x square. X square is in bracket. Okay, so what you will find is t e power x square is equal to integral e power x squared into x cube dx. Now x cube can be written as e power x squared into x squared into x dx. Now put x squared is equal to z, x dx is z by dz by 2. 2x dx is dz. So this is half integral e power z into z dz. This is half of z e power z minus e power z, right? Because its integral will be z e power z plus e power z minus e power z, so z e power z. Okay, integration by parts you don't need. I mean, t e power t, you must know the differential and integral, like not different. Derivative is easy. Integration you should know directly. And z is x squared. So t e power x squared is equal to half of x square e power x square minus e power x squared plus c. So there's a plus c here. Now, so when you cancel e power x square everywhere, you have to add e power minus x squared. Okay, and remember t itself is tan y. So tan y is equal to x squared by 2 minus 1 by 2 plus c e power minus x squared, and that's it. After that, y of 1 equals 0. So 0 is half minus half plus c e power, wait, x equals 1. So c by e. Oh, that is c is 0 because it anyway becomes 0. So tan y is x squared minus 1 by 2. Okay, nice looking kind of thing. And what is asked is what is y of root 3? Okay, tan y is 3 minus 1 by 2 is equal to 1. Therefore, y is pi by 4. Remember, it's not tan y that's asked, it's y that's asked. The correct answer is option D, pi by 4. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, okay. So what I'm going to do in the last whatever 20 minutes or so that we have is do the questions that we could not do earlier. Okay, that's why I stopped with just 6. See, one of the questions that we had asked in conics. Okay, well, whether it's conics or anything else, you can figure out. Okay, that is question 7. That's there in the worksheet. This is a question that was given in the worksheet earlier, but I couldn't do. I just said do it as homework. I mean, I'm pretty sure that none of you did as homework. Why don't you just do this question? Because I just took a couple of questions that we had not solved earlier from the worksheet, and I'm just okay. It's an interesting question. That's why I'm. And the other one is just day before what we did in terms of probability. I realized there is some other trick here. So that's why I put that also. Atulya is asking, could you give a method for getting a good idea about conics? I skipped conics for the first session and made a blunder. I did the SBs, which helped me to answer some very basic questions. How to work on it more. 11th class video. Do the SBs. SBs and online videos. Okay. But restrict the thing to just the basic. See, if it's conics 1 parabola, do the SBs. For conics 2, the SB is not yet there. See, for 11th live class, that is, I think, I don't know if you still have access to those. Okay, oh, you won't have access to the live classes from 11th. I might have some clip for you, Atulya. Just message me or message them, message through the mentor. I did something like SBs. Since SBs were not ready, I just did some animation in the live class. Get through mentor if you want. Because for when I say conics 2, I'm talking of ellipse and hyperbola. The SB, the thing that I've done is in the live class is definitely better than what is there in the online lesson. Okay, because it gives, like, this is the standard form. Then what if the thing is rotated? So all of those things I've dealt with in a little more detail. Shifted axis, etc. Okay. In fact, that class worksheet, etc. will actually be useful also. So just get it through the mentor, or just message the mentor that I asked you to ask the mentor to give you that thing. See, because we have realized that for conics they didn't ask too much of tangents and stuff, though some of you said that they did ask. Okay, for the next year, that is current 11th, we have done a different approach. I have not done the deleted portion at all in class. Okay, whether it's a good strategy or not, based on your response only, I have to tell them. Okay, this is a very tricky question. Okay, so what do you mean by the locus of the intersection of the points? Of course, this is depends on k, and if k is any non-zero real parameter. See, intersection of the two straight lines depends on k. So it will be some x is equal to f of k, y is equal to g of k. Now, Can you plot this as a locus for various values of k? That's the question. But that is very cumbersome. Instead, trick is, you want locus. To get locus, eliminate k. This is the big idea. So you can solve for k. So take root 2x minus y plus 4 root 2k is 0. K is y minus root 2x by 4 root 2. This is equation 1. Equation 2 is root 2 kx plus ky minus 4 root 2 is 0. So k into root 2x plus y is 4 root 2. K is 4 root 2 by y plus root 2x. And here is the beauty. Equating 3 and 4, y minus root 2x by 4 root 2, 4 root 2 by y plus root 2x. Cross multiply y square minus 2x squared is 4 root 2 whole squared, which is 32. Therefore, y squared by 32 minus x squared by 16 equals 1. This is the required locus, which is a hyperbola. But it doesn't stop there. That's something you have to keep in mind. Length of x transverse axis, eccentricity, etc. You have to be careful. What kind of hyperbola is this? This is a hyperbola that looks like this. How do you know? Because it is y squared by something. Okay. So y squared by, I don't know what is the thing that we put. Y squared by, I gave you a summary sheet. I don't want to follow a different. No, I didn't put that at all. Okay. So suppose I say y squared by a squared minus x squared by b squared equals 1. A squared is 32, b squared is 16. E squared is 1 plus b squared by a squared. 1 plus half, which is 3 by 2. So hyperbola eccentricity is root 3 is wrong. But what about the length of transverse axis? This is now the along y-axis, it is still 2a. Okay, so 2 into 4 root 2, of course, a is 4 root 2 and b is 4. 4 root 2 is equal to 8 root 2. So the correct answer is option D. Now this could very well also be a question in JEE Advanced where multiple correct answers may be right. Hyperbola's eccentricity is root of 3 by 2. Transverse axis 8 root 2. You know, something else. Focus is at something 0 comma something. Okay. Please understand, focus will be 0 comma AE, 0 comma minus AE. Directrix will of course be y is equal to A by E. So I hope all of this is clear. Just because the hyperbola is in this form. Okay. I hope this is clear. Okay. If you have doubts on this question, let me know. This particular question itself. Okay, I thought it's a nice question. That's why I included it there, but then we didn't get time to solve it at all. Maybe some of you solved it. This was, did we do this after JE or before? I forget now. Before itself we did. So after we did only probability. Yeah, so before itself we did. At that time we didn't do. So okay, if you don't have doubts, you can go ahead and do question 8. Very, very good point. Okay, so I also had this dilemma, Manasa Vijay. Different books use different A and B. Okay, so I will tell you what is the thing that I'm recommending. Earlier, what I give, okay, so for ellipse like this, now I'm very clear because this is what y-axis as major. Okay, use x squared by b squared plus y squared by a squared equals 1. Okay, this way e squared is still 1 minus b squared by a squared as before. Okay, but in fact, major axis not major axis, foci 0 comma plus or minus area. Of course, directories also change. For hyperbola with y as transverse axis, do y squared by a squared minus x squared by b squared equals 1. Again, e squared is 1 plus b squared by a squared as before. This is what I believe is a better option. To keep e square is the same, change other things. Okay, I strongly recommend this. After looking at this, last year I didn't mention this go into very much detail. I sort of assumed that, okay, whichever way you do, you'll be able to derive. But I clearly realized that that's not easy. Okay, so I strongly recommend this, Manasa. I hope this is clear. Okay. Also, then the E remains the same because A is under major or transverse axis, or A or A square. Keep this as one important thing. A square should always be under the major or transverse axis. Okay. Now the only catch is, okay, in hyperbola, if you have x squared by 3 minus y squared by 11 equals 1, a squared is still 3 and b squared is 11, even though b squared is bigger than a square. That's allowed in a hyperbola. It is which one is the first term and which one is the negative thing. That's what decides a and b in a hyperbola. Okay, sorry, that's what decides the transverse and conjugate axis. Whereas in an ellipse, you're going to look at it by looking at the magnitude. This is the one difference to keep in mind. Okay, I hope this is absolutely clear, Manasa. See, of course, first of all, this kind of thing should not have been there at all, because the NTA has specifically said equation of ellipse and hyperbola and standard form, but they have asked non-standard form in JEE Main. You yourself told me, okay, 2 days back. So NTA is quite unreliable that way. Okay, this one is really tricky question. Okay, day before I just sort of casually mentioned that we have done something like this, but I realized it is actually not similar to what we had done initially. That's why I'd given this question in the first place. So I would definitely not recommend doing such questions in JEE Main. Okay, let me be very clear upfront. 7, yes, 8, no, because 7 is actually not too difficult. The moment you realize that you have to eliminate k, it becomes easy. Okay, 8, whatever you realize, it doesn't look easy at all. So I would highly recommend not doing 8. Okay, I wanted to mention that clearly. If you get this question, of course, if you get the exact same question, yeah, you are lucky, but that's not going to happen. Okay, you get a toughie like this, ignore it in the first round, even second round, maybe third round, you can consider if you have that much time. Okay, so let's see how to do this question. Okay, so here we are told that B1, B2, B3 are three independent events. So if they give like this, therefore pairwise as well as overall independent. Pairwise alone, if they give, overall need not be independent. Okay, so that means what? P of B1 intersection, okay, sorry, let's, okay, therefore B1 bar, B2 bar, B3 bar are also independent, and so are B1, B2 bar, B3, etc. Whatever combination you come up with. So remember, if A and B are independent events, A bar and B bar are also independent. A and B bar are also independent. Okay, so here only B1 occurs. P of only B1 is alpha. That means P of B1 intersection B2 bar intersection B3 bar is alpha. Okay, only B2 occurs as beta and only B3 occurs as gamma. So P of B2 intersection B3 bar intersection B1 bar is beta, and P of B3 intersection B1 bar intersection B2 bar is gamma. And P is the probability that none of the events occurs. P of B1 bar intersection B2 bar is equal to P. 4 variables are there. Okay, really terrible. Okay, now what we can say is, for example, from this we can say P of B1 into P of B2 bar into P of B3 bar is alpha. Now, what about B1, B2, etc.? We'll have to assume something. So, easiest is to just assume P1, P of B2 is P2. So, just the number of variables becomes too messy. So, P1 into 1 minus P2 into 1 minus P3 is alpha. P2 into 1 minus P1 into 1 minus P3 is beta. P3 into 1 minus P2 into 1 minus P1 is gamma. And 1 minus P1 into 1 minus P2 into 1 minus P3 is P. This is 4 equations in, okay, well, in how many variables? You don't know P1, P2, P3, okay, in 3 variables. Is that what we can think of? Okay, just this is one way to look at it. Okay, now this is a purely algebra question, and then it doesn't stop with that. And these 4 probabilities that alpha, beta, gamma and P satisfy alpha minus 2 beta into P is alpha beta. Okay, it is a mind-bogglingly complicated algebra question. It has nothing to do with probability. I didn't realize that initially. Is equal to alpha beta. Okay, this is, and then beta minus 3 gamma into P is 2 beta gamma. This is equation 5 and 6. You're like, what is happening? Okay, of course you might recognize some quick shortcut, etc., but I said this is, okay, clearly not an easy this thing, but there are some tricks that you can do. Like, for example, 1 minus P2, 1 minus 0, if you multiply it is hopeless. This is equation 1, 2, 3 and 4. The beauty is 1 divided by 4, eliminate P2 and P3, you get P1 by 1 minus P1 is alpha by P. Okay, that's very useful. Similarly, you can have, now you can clearly see that, so some light you can see at the end of the tunnel. Beta by P, P3 by 1 minus P3 is gamma by P. Still doesn't solve the problem. Okay, why are we doing this? Just to have some make it a little bit tractable, right? But what is asked? Let's look at what is there in the question. What is P of B1 by P of B3? The question is, what is P1 by P3? That is the question. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, now what you will find is that, now let's look at, you are given 5 and 6. What do 5 and 6 tell us? Okay, alpha by P is P1 by 1 minus P1 by 1 minus P1. I think there is a way to actually make it even better. 1 minus P1 by P1. Yeah, I think this is even better. P by alpha Okay, this might be slightly better because what you get is 1 by P1 minus 1 is P by alpha, like that. Okay, actually if you divide by P, is that correct? Wait, 1 by P1 minus 1 by P is 1 by alpha. Okay, so the reason why I'm writing like this is in all of these, if you divide by alpha beta, you get 1 by beta minus 2 by alpha is 1 by P. Okay, now 1 by alpha, so the 1 by alpha is 1 by PP1 minus 1 by P. 1 by beta is 1 by PP2 minus 1 by P. Now you see 1 by beta minus 2 by alpha, okay, is 1 by P. Implies this P is just going to go away. I hope you are able to realize that. Plus 2 by P is equal to 1 by P. So 1 by P2 minus 1 by P1 is equal to 1 plus 1, 2. Sorry, 1 by 2 minus 2 by P1 is equal to 0, I think. 1 by 2 minus 2 by P1 is equal to 0, which means P1 by P2 is 2. Now, similarly, if you look at, if you divide this by beta gamma, 1 by gamma minus 3 by beta is equal to 2 by P. Okay, 1 by gamma minus 3 by beta is 2 by P. So we'll give 1 by gamma 1 by PP3 minus 1 by P minus 3 by beta. 3 by PP2 minus 3 by P is 2 by P. So this will give, of course, P will cancel everywhere. So this P is not 1 by P3 minus 3 by P2 is equal to wait. Oh, sorry, this becomes plus, minus of minus will become plus. So again, this will become 0. So you will get 3 by P2, 1 by P3, P2 by P3 is 3. This is equation 8, equation 7, correct? Multiply 7 and 8. You get P1 by P3 is 6. Now, what beats me is, what has this got to do with probability? This is complete algebra question. Okay. Okay, let me stop here. Okay, I know this is going to take some time. That's why I spent some this thing. Okay. If you have any doubts in this, see, really there is, the only doubt is, like, how does it strike you to do all this? This is all algebra. I don't see any other easy way to do it. I mean, of course, some other people can recognize some other patterns and do it shorter. But still, I mean, it's just algebra related stuff. Okay. I believe I have seen some patterns and this thing. I'm not able to make it much shorter. Okay. If you have, let me know. Okay. Because just the question is just given like 4 or 5 different variables. Okay. Very ugly, very messy, definitely not recommended to do. Okay. But then why I did this is I want you to be able to spot such questions. Okay, it is also important to not get stuck with these kind of questions. So I'm telling you beforehand that there will be one or two questions like this in your JE, and you should avoid it like the plague. Okay, never go anywhere near it. This is under the assumption that most of you are generally comfortable. If you get 15 questions right, you are happy out of 25. Okay. Of course, if you are aiming for 23 on 25, 24 on 25, then you can't do this. But that's a very different, very, 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 very small set of students. Okay, who anyway won't care about this advice. Okay, so for the bulk of you, you should actually ignore such a quest. Okay, that's why I'm even doing this quest. Okay, let's stop here. Okay, all the best with your next round JE exams. I think we may have a session or two before your second round JE after your board exams, if there is like a 1 week gap somewhere there. Okay, I do hope to see you at that time after you have gotten rid of all your board exam related tension. Okay, but nevertheless, all the best for all your board exams. Okay, I hope all these sessions have been useful. Do attend the test also today, which will start in a minute or two. Okay, all the best with your next round exams, whatever else you are preparing. Okay, be calm, do not get too tense. I'm sure you will do well. Okay, all the best and good night. Okay.